That's where I was, and I'm now standing in the middle of what I intend to be the goat fold. 4 huts, folk huts, fenced from one to the other. Now they're all tumbled this way and that way, but that is of no matter because it is nothing. I can put them right back together. They'll be fenced one to the other to make a square kind of a compound for folding goats. I've heard of a sheepfold, never heard of a goat fold, but it seems to me it's the same thing to keep them safe up here from coyotes, mostly. Bears, whatever. No, coyotes in the case of them, of the goats. And each one of these huts, I'm going to call them for storage, and the area around this a campground. And people really could camp here. But the storage would also be a place for people to go if coyotes or bears became an issue here. That outhouse has got a history to it. It's never been used up here. It's just sitting on a pallet. But it could be used. All right, now, I've done nothing here at the goat fold this whole year. I'm going to walk over that way just a little to show where a fountain can be with drinkable water, potable water. Okay, I'm standing at the spot that potable water could be brought to. It could also be brought over there, I suppose, but this seemed to be a better place. It would have to be brought down, wouldn't have to, but should be brought down by pipe from a spring up on my sister and brother-in-law's property, and I'd got their permission it could be, and I got it here. A couple years ago, or at least a year ago, since I brought it here, but I proved that it actually could be brought here. So there could be potable water at this spot, which I also think of the campground, but there is the goat fold. All right, now I'm going to pick up that bis and walk along it. Here is the bis, and you might well think, well, what's that? Well, when there was water in it the other day, it would have been more clear. But the water was just coming from the rain. A bis, B-I-S-S-E, also known as a Suonen, Wasserleitungen, Acequia. It doesn't really have a clear name in English. Leat, L-E-A-T, would be the closest in English. It brings water along a hillside, and we're going to follow it back. Perhaps here you can get a feel for the way this stays on a contour. It'll go back in, that's where they mined ore up through there. Goes back in there and then back out and goes following a contour along there. A bis is also called a Walle, W-A-A-L-E, Walle, in Tyrol. There you can maybe still make that line out. It was easier when it had water in it the other day. But this is a good spot to see it because you can see it comes along that mining face out there. I snaked it through some trees out there. And that water that's below, that's the natural drain. All of that water could be running in this bis. And one other thing I wanted to say, I said Walle, I think that's plural, Walle, and it would be singular. And I found out some of my ancestors were Wallers, but it's spelled W-A, I'm not sure how it's spelled. It might be W-A-L-L-E-R. But anyway, people always assume, well, they must have built walls. I don't know. Since they were German, they might have maintained Walle. That's where the bis goes along the mine face. That was a minor mine face. But anyway, it comes approaching us here. The water would be running away from us if it were in water, as they say. And the water, nature has let it break and spill out. I often use, or I used to use, I guess I still do, Palm Sunday as a day at which point I like to see the bis in water. That's the natural drain. This is the prise d'eau in French. That's the trap of water. In English, I guess it would be the weir, W-E-I-R, weir, that diverts the water to run there. And all that water really, or almost all of it, I could be running out onto that hillside, across the aqueduct, and around the top of the hill. There's the weir that I was just at. And I paused here because I wanted to leave a record of the fact that I've backed the pickup back in here. To maintain that, you know, it's nice to use what's actually available, but crushed stone is also a very handy material, broken limestone 2B. And I've brought that material down here before by a bit of a cartway I opened up. So it is possible to drive here. Now we're going to head up there.